Miyu Yamashita could be like a super big deal. If not now, in the future, I think she's going to be really big. She's really incredible. She's so athletic and hard hitting, and you can just tell she's very passionate about what she does.
Ohayou gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, for whenever you're listening to the Joshi Pod, your weekly podcast about all things Japanese women's wrestling, Joshi Wrestling. I'm your host, Eric Howard, coming to you from rainy San Diego, California. 2 weeks in a row, 2 weeks of rain. This is not what San Diego's all about. I'm recording this on Thursday night, American Thanksgiving. I'm very thankful for my family and friends, and I'm also very thankful you guys have decided to join me on this adventure. Got a real cool mention on Twitter this week. My buddy Aaron said when he mentioned this show that it was a labor of love, and he's absolutely spot on. I love sharing the stories of the people that work so hard in the Joshi wrestling industry. Some of those people coming up in future episodes is Zoe Sky, who previously wrestled as Angel Dust, and who did a Stardom tour in 2018. Looks like she's also going back in January of 2020, so that'll be a fun chat on a future episode. Also coming up this month is an interview with Thekla, an Austrian wrestler who toured Ice Ribbon over the summer. And I'm also working on finalizing a date with Nightshade, who recently toured with Tokyo Joshi Pro. I'm also working on a big one for the end of the year show. I'm keeping my pencil sharp to write down some interesting questions for this person. Also, by the time you guys hear this, it's my birthday. Thank you. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. And for my birthday, I would love for you guys to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Please also follow the podcast on Twitter at the Joshi Pod. I want to thank the Renaissance Woman Hyan for joining us last week. If you haven't heard that one yet, please go back and give it a listen. This week, I attended a wrestling show at the Comedy Store in Hollywood, California. It was put on by the Store Horsemen, a group of comedians who are also huge wrestling fans and do a pretty cool podcast. I got to give a shout out to my podcast brothers. They put on a real entertaining show. All kinds of people. Brian Pillman Jr. was there, Luchasaurus, a couple of people I chatted with too. I hope they put on some more shows going forward. While I was at the show, I did some guerrilla-style podcasting. I was able to get a couple of quick interviews outside the Comedy Store. I think you're going to like them both. One of those interviews will be part of their top 5 headlines of the week. The Warmaster Josh Barnett will share his opinion about Japanese women's wrestling training. We'll also have our show of the week that we're going to review the November 23rd Tokyo Joshi Pro show from Shinkiba First Ring. We'll highlight some of the big shows this week coming up in Japan. We'll also take a look, see where Joshi performers are performing outside of Japan. And in the main event, we are joined by Hell's favorite harlot, Priscilla Kelly. She's done multiple tours with Tokyo Joshi Pro. It was a quick chat outside on the Sunset Strip. You hear car noises and crowds in the background. I was thankful she took the time to join me for the chat. First, our top 5 headlines of the week are brought to you by one of our show sponsors, Quiet Wyatt Designs. If you need a logo, t-shirt, sticker, hat design, so much more, please reach out to Nolan and the team at Quiet Wyatt Designs. My new logo is coming along very well. Looks great. Should be out real soon. Some of their designs are available on Redbubble. You can also reach them on Facebook by searching Quiet Wyatt, QUIET one word, designs. They've done some great work for several wrestlers and promotions, and they'll do great work for you too. Headline number 1. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Stardom Suzuki unexpectedly announced she'll be retiring at the end of the year. No reason was given, but the Stardom's Twitter mentioned about her leaving on her own terms. I reached out to a couple of the Stardom regular fans in Japan, and there was no really indication beforehand that the retirement was coming. Almost all the feedback about her retiring on social media has been that fans are disappointed she's leaving, but also happy for her that she's moving on to what she wants to do. She made her debut in 2014. In 2015, she won the Rookie of Stardom tournament. 2016, she joined Queen's Quest. 2017, she won the Artist of Stardom Championship. In the 2018 Stardom Draft, she was drafted by Oedo Tai, and that's when she started going by Hazuki. I think that's where she hit her stride. As her body matured, she got even better in the ring. Her mic skills also got better, and she showed way more aggression. In 2019, she defeated Mary Apache for the High Speed Championship. Her retirement match will be December 24th, where she handpicked Natsuko Tora to be her opponent. I don't think she reached the heights she could have because she just wasn't, in the game long enough, but she made strides, and I think she really could have been one of the top stars in Stardom if she decided to stick around. Let's hope she's moving on for positive reasons. We wish Hazuki the best. Well, we're talking about Stardom. After the mix-up with Ice Ribbon has been cleared up, Julia has been posting pictures on Twitter at Stardom shows lurking in the background. It was finally announced on Thursday she'll be facing Hana Kimura at Korakuen Hall on December 24th. Also on the Christmas Eve show, Konami will challenge Ariska Hoshiki for the Wonder of Stardom Championship, and Mayu Iwatani will defend her World of Stardom title against Kagetsu. There's so much interest in this show that they're going to open up that north side of the Korakuen Hall where they normally curtain it off. They're going to open it up because I guess people have shown so much interest in this show, and I don't blame them. I wish I was there for it. Also on the 24th, Takaki Kidani, the founder of Bushi Road, will be at the show to talk about the future of Stardom. Headline number 2, in search of a new actress. Saori Anou has announced that she's leaving Actress Girls at the end of the year. This is a pretty decent blow for Actress Girls. It's not sure where she's going to go yet. Stardom is always an option. You also wonder if she just wants to be a freelance for a while and test the open market. Could she be one of Kenny Omega's talents he's talked about bringing into AEW in 2020? She's about the best Actress Girls has, so I wouldn't blame Kenny for wanting to bring her in. I wouldn't blame Stardom for wanting to bring her in as well. Headline number 3. Ouch! Marvelous's Mio Momono injured her elbow recently. Looks like she tore a ligament in her elbow and she's going to miss several months. She hasn't been back that long from her ACL injury, so she's got that little injury bug she needs to overcome. Gatomu's Sayaka Obihiro will be taking time off to heal up. She's expected to return in the springtime. And also, poor Mayu Iwatani lost a tooth. You can see pictures on her Twitter account. Headline number 4, Rising from the Ashes. Gato Move Thailand had their last show this past week, but the formation of Setup Thailand Pro Wrestling was announced earlier this week. I would also encourage you, if you haven't listened yet, to go back and download episode 2 of the Joshi Pod and hear Pumi discuss the Thailand wrestling scene. On Twitter, Pumi announced, "I'm starting a new wrestling promotion in Thailand. Set Up Thailand Pro Wrestling means we will set up the pro wrestling scene once again here. Please support us, retweet, and follow our social media network." You can follow them on Twitter at Setup, SETUPTH. Give them a follow Pumi as well. Dr. Gore was the first wrestler announced for Setup. And some good news, Pumi will remain the voice of Gata Move doing the play-by-play for their YouTube videos. We couldn't have him go away. Headline number 5. That feeling in your stomach when you see your crush gal Chigusa Nagaya will be retiring on the Marvelous's December 8th show at Korakuen Hall when she takes on Takumi Iroha. Nagaya is an absolute legend and a throwback from a whole different era. As part of the Crush Gals with Lioness Asuka, Nagaya became a mainstream star and an icon to young Japanese women. She later started the Gaia promotion, which was made famous by the BBC documentary called Gaia Girls. It's on YouTube. Go out of your way to watch it. It's amazing. Nagaya's influences on the industry can't be overstated. She's been called the most popular women's wrestler of all time. Josh Barnett was in Japan and saw how those Joshi wrestlers trained back then. When I spoke with him, he talked about how they trained. He even brought up the Gaia Girls and the Gaia Girls documentary. Let's have a listen to what Josh has to say about Japanese women's wrestling training. And again, remember, this was recorded outside the Comedy Store, so it's a little bit noisy in the background.
The Japanese women, well, basically it's like this. Japanese professional wrestling is rooted in shoot. I mean, it just is. I don't know the intricacies of all the different schools or dojos, how they would be set up now. But even in the 2000s, like the way the New Japan Dojo was set up, the way the Gaia Dojo, all these dojos, there was work on what you would consider professional wrestling in the more, I suppose, I would say worked elements, but their whole foundation was catch wrestling, martial arts, Muay Thai, all this kind of stuff. So they spent more time learning how to really pin someone, really submit someone, really hit them than they did, working on like how to run the ropes and stuff like that. And I think that's, a big reason why Japanese wrestling is as tight and looks as good as it does. But when it came to the women, there was no differentiating that. There was no changing, or I should say, there was no alteration of the programming because they're women. If I don't know much about your audience and how much they would know this, but Japan has the most dominant female amateur wrestling team in the world. Like they have more Olympic champions, they have won more world titles, more and more again. Like they are far and above the most decorated freestyle wrestling program in the world.
Do you think that'll turn into more MMA fighters or professional wrestlers or both?
Neither, because usually after the ends of their careers, they get married and have kids. That's a big thing for. It's a very traditional way of the way that their careers will. I mean, being married and having a kid is not a career. I'm sure it feels like it, but that's just a very traditional pathway for female athletes in Japan. But with Japanese women's professional wrestling, if you watch if you see the documentary Gaia Girls, it's not new to them. This isn't different. That is the way they approach wrestling, and they take it very, very seriously. I used to train when I was training at the UWF Snake Pit in Tokyo in the mid-2000s. There was a girl who went by the working name of Sasore, Scorpion, and she worked in All Japan Women's. And she trained Muay Thai there. She would train catch and stuff like that. And she'd been through the dojo system to get where she was. And, hey.
I mean, sorry. Oh,
and
I can edit.
And she, I don't know how it even came up, but she was like, "Go ahead and chop me." I'm like, really? And she just stood there, stone-faced, hands behind her back, because that's how they learn to take chops. And I cracked her good, and she didn't even flinch. And the thing is, we'd spar, sometimes we'd grapple on the ground a little bit. I mean, there was no delineation. I'm a girl and you're a guy. It didn't work that way. And I think, it goes a long way towards creating a functional, legitimate wrestler that can go out there and work matches.
Do you think that can be successful over here in the States as well, the Japanese girls coming over?
100%. I think that anybody can actually succeed here in the States, to be honest. I think we have a great platform across all the different ways in which you can view wrestling, and there's so many great workers, and this is such a good spot for international talent to come and go. So I have no doubt that Japanese girls can succeed. My only concern, if I was looking at this from the perspective of someone as a coach, let's say, is that I would be more concerned that wherever they may end up, them altering who they are too greatly to fit in with a supposed ideal or a supposed, you have to work this way kind of thing. I think there's always a danger, and that goes for male wrestlers too, to then conform so wholly to a system that you just become another thing of it, instead of standing out and being something that stands upon its own.
Any particular wrestlers that you saw in the past that you had respect for, or certain people that stood out to you in the past?
Talk about women wrestlers?
Yeah.
God, Mariko Yoshida. I would love to have Meiko Satomura in Bloodsport if possible. I remember the wrestlers that really introduced me to Japanese wrestling was the Jumping Bomb Angels in the WWF. I just remember watching them going, what the hell? This isn't what I'm used to seeing. This is gnarly. This is badass.
Same as I. That's the first people I saw as well.
Yeah, but there's a ton of them. Shinobu Kondori and the fact that they had legit shoot fights in Japan in the early 90s with wrestlers. These girls went out there and legit fought judoka, Olympic judoka, and sambo girls and all this stuff, and they really went for it. That I can't even imagine such a thing, going to even a big indie federation, be like, oh, hey, all you female wrestlers right now, oh, you're all going to do shoot fights. You're like, yeah, no way. Are you kidding me? They'd be completely unprepared.
危ないですから黄色い線までお下がりください。まもなく2番線に渋谷新宿方面行きが
The show of the week this week is Tokyo Joshi Pro's show from November 23rd at Shinkiba First Ring. It aired live on the DDT Universe streaming service. In the opener, Mizuki, Yuki Aino, and Mirai Mayumi defeated Yuna Manase, Yuki Kamafuku, and Mahiro Kiryu. Aino looked really strong in this match, and she submitted Kiryu for the win. In a very entertaining match, Miyu Yamashita defeated Neko Haruna and Palm Harajuku in a handicap match. The two kept trying to sneak attack Yamashita when she wasn't looking, but kept getting caught and basically ran away. Palm Harajuku's got it. She's so entertaining. She's going to be, I think, very successful for them. Miyu is just so good and pinned both of her opponents at the same time. She's looking strong heading into her title match in January against Yuka Sakazaki. In the third match on the card, Misao defeated Suzumi. In a little bit of an upset, Hikari Noa and Mina Shirakawa defeated Maki Ito and Raku. After the match, Noa challenged Ito for the International Princess Championship. Looks like that's going to happen in January. In the semi-main event, Saki-sama and Rika Tatsumi, which we previewed last week, went to a no contest after a little over 10 minutes. The score was not settled, and Misao remains under the power of Saki-sama. They set up a singles match between Rika and Misao on November 30th. In the main event, Yuka Sakazaki and Shoko Nakajima defeated Miyu Watanabe and Nodoka Tenma when Yuka and Shoko combined for a roll-up on Tenma. You have to see it to believe it. Again, I'm super impressed by Miyu Watanabe. I think she is the future of Tokyo Joshi Pro. Let's take a quick look at the shows in Japan this week. First on today, Sendai Girls are in Yokohama. Tomorrow, that's when Rika and Misao have their one-on-one challenge. Rika's not giving up at the Tokyo Joshi Pro show in Yokohama. Also on the 30th, at the Ice Ribbon Dojo, Yappy will face Maya Yukihi for the first time. There's also an evening show from Sendai Girls in Yokohama and Radiant Hall on the 30th. On December 1st, Gato Move is the OG Basement Monster. I love that place. Mei Saruga will be facing Seedlings Nanai Takahashi in the main event. Emi Sakura, Lulu Pencil, Che, Yuna Mizumori, Mitsuru Kono, and others will be on the card. Also on the 1st, Stardom has a day-night doubleheader in Osaka. On the morning show, Kagetsu and Hazuki are facing Mayu Iwatani and Arisa Hoshiki. There's also an 8-woman match between Stars and Queen's Quest. In the evening, there's a 10-woman match with Tokyo Cyber Squad facing Uedo Tai, and there's also an 8-woman match where Stars are facing Queen's Quest. Also on the 1st, the Shinkiba Ring Wave has a show, and Ice Ribbon has a show in Saitama, where both the Ribbon Triangle Championship and the Ice Ribbon Tag Team Championships will be on the line. Finally, on the 1st, Pure J is running an evening show at the OG Basement Monster. Here's where the Joshi women will be performing outside of Japan. Tomorrow, November 30th, and Sunday, December 1st, Miko Satomura will be in Seattle, Washington, making her debut for Defy Wrestling at Wrestle Summit 2. On the 30th, she'll be facing the great Nicole Savoy. I don't think her match for the 1st has been decided yet. I've heard some grumblings that it's going to be a tag team match. Get your tickets at defywrestling.com. You're not going to want to miss Miko in the US. The UK fans, Miko is going to be in Sheffield, England on December 15th for Progress. She's going to defend her women's championship. We are a little over a week away from the Chara Expo 2019. It's taking place in Anaheim, California, December 7th and 8th. Tam Nakano and Mayu Iwatani will be making a very rare California appearance. Both matches are going to be at 2 o'clock each day. Take advantage of this, guys. I keep stressing so much to take advantage of seeing these two perform live. You can get tickets by visiting the website at charaexpo-usa.com. If you purchase a Stardom t-shirt, you'll receive a numbered ticket for the meet and greet with Tam and Mayu. I do also want to mention Eve Riot Girls of Wrestling presents Wrestle Queendom 3 will be January 11th at the 229 The Venue. No card has been announced yet, but you can be pretty sure there'll be Joshi talent on the show. If any promoters or fans would like to share any information on upcoming shows where Joshi performers will be performing outside of Japan, please email the show at thejoshipod@gmail.com. The main event interview is sponsored by the Level Up Pro Wrestling School. B-Boy, who has over 20 years in the wrestling industry with companies including Ring of Honor, CCW, Pro Wrestling Gorilla, and so much more, is the head trainer. If you happen to catch the Chronicle episode about Cain Velasquez this week on the WWE Network, you saw Level Up Pro Wrestling School featured prominently. If you're looking to get started or looking to tighten up and polish yourself, get ready for a tryout with one of the big companies, please reach out to the Level Up Wrestling School, levelupschool.sd@gmail.com, or give them a call at 619-825-7668. Before we get to that main event interview with Priscilla Kelly from outside the Comedy Store, I want to remind you guys to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow me on Twitter at Eric San Diego and the show at the Joshi Pod. Please support all of our sponsors. They help me so much. I'll put links in the show notes for how to reach out again to those sponsors. I will see you guys next week. Arigatou gozaimasu.
She made her pro wrestling debut in 2015 in Atlanta, Georgia. In 2016, she made her Shine debut at Shine 37. In May 2017, she debuted for Evolve. In July of 2017, she became the inaugural Shine Nova champion, defeating Candy Cartwright in the tournament finals. In 2018, she participated in the WWE's Mae Young Classic. She is sought out by promotions around the world. She's now a regular at Rise, Shimmer, Bar Wrestling, and recently appeared at MLW. And in 2018, she made her debut for Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. And that's where I'd like to bring on the show Hell's favorite harlot, Priscilla Kelly. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So how did the door open for you to go to Tokyo Joshi Pro?
I think it was honestly, I think just word of mouth, me gaining popularity, and with my character and gimmick and everything, I think it was something that they thought would be just a great addition to, over there they have a lot of different personalities and characters, and I just think they saw me as something different, and it was really awesome because my first time ever coming, the crowd took to me really well, and I love working for Japan, really I do.
Who reached out to you to go over?
DDT Pro reached out to me and booked me for all the shows that I did there, so everything I did was through them, and I did a few DDT Pro shows as well as the Tokyo Joshi. So yeah, I did 3 tours. I did Osaka, and I did Tokyo, and
okay, I like to talk because what really interests me is the day-to-day stuff. The wrestling stuff's fine, but just the living in Japan, the training in Japan. Were you staying at the dojo, or were you staying how was your living?
Yeah, I stayed at a dojo while I was there. It was really nice. I stayed a little bit outside of the city, but Japan's cool because you can just take a train anywhere. And I lived I stayed 10 minutes from an Anytime Fitness, so it was perfect for me because I could just go work out all the time, take a train to Takashita Street, spend all my money on cute Japanese clothes.
So did you have to do we hear about the crazy dojo training? Did you have to do the crazy dojo trainings too?
Not really. They had scheduled classes. I never really did the training while I was there just because I never really had time. But they did have a training program while I was there. It was just mainly for the Joshi girls themselves. I was just there temporarily.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so some of your matches you had, who stood out to you as far as people you wrestled over there?
Miyu Yamashita was definitely one of the toughest opponents that I had, and probably one of my favorite matches. But yeah, I would say Miyu Yamashita or Yuka Sakazaki. She's really good. I would say they were probably my 2 favorites.
Who do you think of the women you wrestled over there could be successful in the United States as well?
What was that, sorry?
Who could be successful in the United States as well?
I think any of them could be really successful. I know Yuka's done, she did AEW a while back, and I think she's really different looking. But I think Miyu Yamashita could be a super big deal, if not now, in the future. I think she's going to be really big. She's really incredible. She's so athletic and hard-hitting, and you can just tell she's very passionate about what she does.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you about a few different people. Maki Ito, super personality. What are your opinions on Maki Ito? The one that sings when she comes out?
Oh, yeah. I think she was there the first time I came over. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get to know a lot of the girls personally, just because the language barrier was so it's just so hard. Even just putting matches together over there, it's very difficult because nobody really speaks any English. So that's the hardest part is getting to know the girls. And as an American, you do kind of start to feel kind of alone after a while because nobody speaks English.
There was no other gaijin over there with you?
No. I think there was some American guys, but I never was really around them too much except for maybe the DDT shows. But yeah, Tokyo Joshi, it was all Japanese girls.
So talking about putting a match together, is it feel that you have to do, or do they know a little bit of English words for some of the moves?
I had like a translator, but even he wasn't super great at English either, so it was incredibly difficult. It would take like very, very long time to put matches together. But I mean, wrestling's universal in a way to where, you know, if you know one move, you can just kind of like, you know, kind of show with your hands what you're trying to do, and you can figure it out from there. But definitely not as easy as over here.
What was your favorite match over there?
At Tokyo Joshi, I would say like me versus Miya Yamashita for the title.
Was that your last match over there?
That was my last match. I would either say that one, or at DDT, I did get a chance to get in the ring with Jun Kasai, so that was really cool. So yeah, it's probably my two top matches.
What was it like in the ring with Jun Kasai?
Jun Kasai's hilarious, and I think he's like so cool, and I wish I could have like a full-time singles match with Jun Kasai. Like, put that out there. I want a match with Jun Kasai.
So you went there, 3 times last year?
Yeah.
Any future trips planned at all over to Japan?
Not yet. I've been doing more England. This year I did Germany and England, so I'm kind of like going in that direction. I think a little bit more in the next year. I'm hoping to get over to Australia soon, but I'd love to go back to DDT again soon, because I really love everyone at DDT. Is just so welcoming and nice, and they take such good care of you there. And yeah, I'd love to go back to Takashita Street.
So the girls took good care of you as well. They brought you in okay.
Yeah, everyone's so nice. Like, I mean, they don't really speak much English, but you can just tell they mean well, and everyone's just so happy, and you know, just happy to be around. It's like good energy.
So, what inside the ring did you take from Japan back here that you use now?
Learning how to put together matches with people that don't know what you're saying. Like that's like a skill that I think I definitely learned while I was there, and that's a really good skill to have in professional wrestling, because there are a lot of people from either Mexico or you know, if they're from Canada and they speak French, or Japan. The language barrier is something you will always have to face throughout your career, and I think that's a really good skill to have.
Good. Okay, outside of the ring, what's your favorite thing about Japan? What are some of your favorite things about Japan?
Probably the goth district. I love like the gothic style that they have in Japan. It's so like different and innovative, and yeah, definitely that, and the sweets, the souffle pancakes. Yeah.
Did you go to? I ask everybody this. Did you go to 7-Eleven?
I went to a Lawson a lot. I did go to 7-Eleven, but I was big on the Lawson egg salad sandwiches. Yeah, that was my go-to.
Their food is amazing. All right, I'm gonna look at your match listing real quick here. I just want to ask you about a couple of matches in particular. Sorry. So, what was the favorite venue you wrestled at?
I don't know. Like Kurikan Hall is like the big one where like everybody's wrestled there. That's like the place. So probably there, definitely. I just think there's so much history in that building. Everyone knows it. That's definitely the place that I think was coolest.
Did you like the Monstar, the OG Monster, the little dome arena? Do you remember that one?
I honestly don't know what a lot of them were called. I was just kind of going with the flow when I was there. I was like, okay, we're wrestling here today. Okay, cool.
So people just led you around. You just went wherever?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So you, the DDT experience. Tell me a little bit more about getting away from the Joshi girls over to working for DDT.
DDT was super fun too. I got to work with a lot more of the guys there, and I think like the crowd was a little bit different for DDT, a little bit more loud at DDT, I think. And I don't know, like it's just super fun, and like I had some of my American friends with me there, so I could, you know, actually talk to them and whatnot. Like Ethan Page was there with me, and I had a match with Ethan Page actually. He was on my team, but yeah, it was super fun. Like
the one with Mike Bailey?
Yeah.
Yeah.